After completing Titanic, James Cameron said that Avatar was one of the 2 films he wanted to complete next. However, his vision was deemed too expensive, and until the price of computer graphics came down to a more affordable level, his movie remained unmade. It tells the story of Jake Sully heading towards the planet Pandora and becoming an avatar, an human-alien hybrid able to work on the planet. However, along the way he discovers more about himself and about the alien population, and eventually learns what it really means to be human in the first place. In order to celebrate this landmark release that's coming in IMAX 3D later this year, Mattel is releasing a line of Avatar toys, and among their releases are 3 3/4 inch figures. As you know, I'm a total dork for 3 3/4 inch figures, and therefore, I'm going to take a look at them today. Now, all the figures come packed in this tube on a card packaging, which is a little difficult to film because of the curved surfaces, but you get a pretty good idea. The figure of Jake Sully comes with a white accent trim inside of the tube, looking like the medical bay that we can see in the trailer where he becomes the human-alien hybrid. Whereas the Avatar alien version of himself, as well as the alien Materi, both have this wood, jungle-type accent inside of their tube. Also, there's a large picture on the card that has to do with the character. Jake, as the Marine in the wheelchair, is shown with his large exosuit, whereas Materi and Jake the Avatar are both shown with the animal scene of them riding some of the indigenous creatures of planet Pandora. One of the most intriguing aspects of this release line is the eye tag. Coming with each character is a figure stand that also doubles as a virtual card. Using the webcam on your camera, you get a 3D model from the movie that you can control on screen. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's take a look at Jake Sully himself. He comes in the unique packaging that we've already looked at, and on the back you've got some biographical information. It talks about his profession, some of his skills. The character, when taken out of the tube, comes inside the wheelchair, and using a clear plastic band, he is held in place. You can remove the band and remove him from the chair, and the chair does actually roll on its own wheels. The character can then be placed on the figure stand and looked at independently. Now, he does have lots of articulation in his neck, his shoulders, his elbows, his waist, his thighs, his ankles, and his knees. And his knees and shoulders and elbows all have rotation as well as your standard pin joints. The thighs, oddly enough, are modeled not like the Infinite Heroes figures that are also from Mattel, but more like the DC Universe Classics figures. So that's something interesting you can look forward to in more Mattel figures. Now, the Avatar version of Sully comes in a similar package, except that his biographical information is on a sheet of paper instead of looking like the futuristic text screen that was on the other package. When you take him out of the box, though, you can see that he is a much beefier looking figure because of the thicker clothes that he's wearing. And also, instead of a wheelchair, he comes with this big-ass gun. And if you're like me, you like guns that are big like this. He also comes with another iTag figure stand, and he has the same points of articulation that you saw in the other figure. So he's actually kind of a nicer figure because he's got a bigger, beefier feel and feels a little less flimsy than the other one. Materi has the thinnest, lankiest body of them all, probably because she's got the female body type, but her legs and arms are a lot skinnier, and she's got the same articulation as the other figures, except that her ankles do not rotate, they only have the pin joint. Otherwise, she's actually adorned with quite a bit of accessories that add a nice level of detail to the figure. She comes with a bow and arrow, but unfortunately it doesn't fit in her hands very well, and she can't hold it properly as if she was shooting it. But otherwise, as far as the actual figure goes, it is a very nice female form, and the added accessories on the body are very nice. Now let's talk about the iTag. If you have a camera on your computer, I happen to use the PlayStation 2 iToy, I find it works very well, you can use an added feature of the iTag system. By going to the avataritag.com website, you can download a plugin for Firefox or Internet Explorer that allows you to scan your tag into the computer, and then you get a 3D model on your screen. Now, they do have sounds, although some are a little bit better than the others. And they do move as you move the tag, as you rotate it around. Now, you can, however, put your hand in the way and that blocks it, so the figure disappears off your screen. Also, the fact that it says that you can interact with it, that just means that you control it by moving the stand, and then it moves with you. But you can only do one at a time, and you can't really do anything other than rotate it around. So it is a nice little added step towards some sort of interactive feature. But it reminds me a lot of the Comtech features that came in the original Star Wars toys with the first prequel movie. It's interesting, but it's not necessarily the greatest thing ever like you might be expecting. Now, whether or not this is the hottest movie to come out this year and makes you want to run out and buy these toys remains to be seen. However, I do think a fair amount of people are going to want to play with the eye tags, and they're going to buy one or two just to kind of let their curiosity get the better of them. I think for people who have a lot of 3 3/4 inch figures, you're going to find the accessories like Avatar Sully's gun or even Sully's wheelchair to be nice additions to your collection if you're going to want to play with your toys like I do. The Avatar version of Sully with the big gun is actually a pretty nice figure, and all in all, they do a very good job of capturing the likeness of the characters that they are representing. But really, what it comes down to is how much you're a fan of James Cameron and how much you're looking forward to the movie. And if you're a pretty big fan of either, you're probably going to want to pick these up.
Toy Talk!